Hello, this is another type of problem from lesson 6.6 on Rich's homework, the standard practice. This is question number 2. Again, I stacked both of the fractions 2 and 1/3, and my operation is plus 1 and 3/4. So the first thing I notice is that the denominators, 3 and 4, they're different, and you cannot add fractions with unlike denominators, so we need to make them the same. So in order to do that, we need to find the least common multiple. So what we do is somewhere down on the bottom of the paper, we'll list the multiples of 3. 3, 6, 9, 12. I'll stop right there. If I need to go higher, I will. And the multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12. I'm going to stop at 12 because I noticed that both multiples of 3 and multiples of 4 have 12 in common. So that is my least common denominator. So my new denominator for each fraction becomes 12. But in order to get my denominator on my top fraction to be 12, I multiplied the 3 1, 2, 3, 4 times. It's the fourth multiple. So 3 times 4 equals 12. The rule is whatever I do to my bottom denominator, I must also do to my top numerator, 1. So I'm going to multiply the 1 by 4 as well. 1 times 4 is 4. I do the same thing for the fraction below. I have 4 times what gives me 12. So again, I'll just count my multiples. 4 times 1, 2, 3. So I multiply my denominator by 3, I got 12. 4 times 3 equals 12. So I must also multiply my numerator by 3. And that gives me 9. Okay, so I see that both my denominators are the same, so I'm ready to add. But these type of problems are different because they also have whole numbers attached to them. So I cannot forget to bring those along with my new fraction, because in my answer I need to add those as well. So now I'm ready to add. When I add, again, my denominators, I don't add them, it just stays the same. So then I do 9 plus 4. And I add my whole number. 2 plus 1 will give me 3. Okay, this type of problem has an extra step because it's called an improper fraction. An improper fraction is when your numerator is larger than your denominator. So because of that, we need to change it into a fraction that does not have a numerator that's larger. So when we have problems like this, the rule is we do division, because if we cover up our whole number, 13, that fraction bar actually means to just divide this fraction bar right here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to remember in the back of my mind that I still have this 3 to worry about, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just concerned about the improper fraction, 13 divided by 3. So I'll do a long division problem. So the number on top, the numerator, always goes inside of the house as the dividend, and the number on bottom always goes on the outside of the house as a divisor. 12 can go into 13 one time because I'm thinking multiples of 12. 12, 24, already we're too high, so 12 goes into 13 one time. 1 times 12 is 12. I subtract, I get 1. Because we're dealing with fractions, I want my answer to be a fraction. So I have 1 whole, and my remainder becomes my numerator, and my denominator stays the same. And it was originally 12, so we'll keep it 12. A good way to also remember that is it's my dividend, or my divisor, the 12 right here. So instead of 13 over 12, that really means 1 and 1 over 12. But as I said earlier, I cannot forget about the 3 I already had. So I just add that to my answer. So instead of 3 and 1 and 1/4, we add the whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4, and 1/12. So that's the final answer. So if Richie would have had his final answer 3 and 13 over 12, if the directions say put in simplest form, that is not in simplest form because it is an improper fraction. So you have to be careful to make sure that the final answer is not an improper fraction.